Alexander Calder is best known for his mobiles. This one from 1976 was his largest. It hangs in the National Gallery of Art in Washington, D.C. But another Washington museum, the National Portrait Gallery, is showing a different side of Calder. Barbara Zabel curated the exhibition Calder's Portraits, A New Language.
He did so many mobiles, had so many commissions, particularly late in life, that certainly the great proportion of his works are mobiles, stabiles. But at the same time he was working on those, he'd be doing little portraits, drawings.
In fact, Calder was doing portraits long before he created a mobile.
The earliest one in the show is 1907, when he was 9 years old. And it's after his parents provided him with his own studio or workshop.
Other self-portraits followed.
He really wanted to become a painter like his mother initially. And but his, I think, love for materials really led him to sculpture.
Calder's three-dimensional portraits were unlike anything people had seen before. One critic described them as drawing in space. Zabel says they grew out of the miniature circus he created in the 1920s and used in performances.
The circus involved creating little figures out of wire, and so out of this generated an interest in portraiture.
Sometimes, but not always, Calder would do a sketch first.
Typically, he would throw a whole roll of wire over his shoulder and work with the end of it. And then if he needed to stop something and go in another direction, he might snip it and start with a new piece.
In the exhibit, Calder's portraits are often placed alongside photographs and other works from the Portrait Gallery's collection. There are celebrities, like entertainer Jimmy Durante and baseball star Babe Ruth. This untitled work, believed to be a self-portrait, was inspired by Charles Lindbergh's historic transatlantic flight. Shadows cast by the sculptures were as important to the artist as the works themselves.
He wanted to light them all himself, and he referred to himself as an illumination engineer. The portraits hanging from the ceiling also are in slow motion. So you see the shadows move, you see the portrait move.
They were precursors to his famous mobiles. Later, Calder combined the two. This portrait of cartoonist Saul Steinberg seems to be followed by dark clouds.
I think he felt he was followed by doom and gloom wherever he went, and Calder tries to bring this out in a very humorous way.
Calder's last wire portrait was of himself, originally thought to be from the 1920s.
We discovered a whole series of photographs of the artists actually making the work, which we know were done in January 1968.
Calder's portraits are not as numerous as his abstract work, but Zabel says they reveal a side of the artist not frequently seen.
What fueled his work in portraiture is a genuine attraction to other people.
In Calder's portraits, we see a man who loved humanity as much as art. Susan Logue, VOA News, Washington.